It's hard to imagine this not.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They're led out by their mobile cornerback, the 6-year man. It's Tyrod Taylor.
I've always loved Tyrod Taylor's mobility. I love his footwork, his ability to escape, but his underrated arm. Accurate, downfield throwing, that's what I really like about his game.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. All right, let's take a look at the offensive starters and the second-round pick out of USC. One to talk about, Robert Woods.
I think a lot of people thought maybe he was ticketed for stardom coming out of USC. Has always been a great route runner, much more of a complimentary receiver. But they could utilize that in a big way and have him open up things in the middle.
On second down, it's McCoy. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And got a man. It's Woods. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Fresh set of downs here. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. So McCoy adding to his yardage total in this one. Last year, 895 yards in his first season in Buffalo. Of course, he had Charles 4,000-yard years in Philadelphia.
And you know the man they call Shady wants to throw some shade at the Eagles for ever letting him go. He wants a big year in 2016. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're
into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Palmer gives to Johnson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. He's going to air one out. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he slings one that's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
He's got Watkins on the out route. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Now here's a situation that's kind of right up Rex Ryan's alley. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll go with McCoy. LaShawn McCoy unable to get to the marker. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done, so I think going for it there was the right call.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's got room. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Have you talked with your friends who are in the fantasy leagues? I keep hearing David Johnson's name is coming up in a big way.
Boy, he was a steal 3rd rounder out of Northern Iowa. And I think last year started as a 4th string back, didn't he?
He certainly did, but boy, he produces the year 1 out. Remember, can run it. He can catch it. He was a wide receiver in Northern Iowa before he became a running back, and also has great kick return ability. Ran one back for a touchdown in 2015.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. One receiver right, that's Brown. Palmer now. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there, bank at the 39-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes. We're trying to put him on the ground.
6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, the Cards will call on Chandler Catanzaro to try and put up 3. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. We focus our attention on the Cardinals defense now. And an important stop in a tight game their last time.
Always important to stop them. We know that. But as you noted, in a tight game, so much more critical to get it done, and that's exactly what they did.
And they'll be trying to do that once more here. We'll see who wins the battle. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And that is incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Watkins alone on the left side. 2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor rolling to his right. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they're known as the no-fly zone.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So you heard the word. This is a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defender wanted to try and get back after he had jumped, unable to do so.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the gun, it's Palmer. That is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well.
Right now, 1-18.
Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Now the Bills will take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 2nd down, Taylor. His throw incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
They'll roll him out right. And some space here. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Right side complete, that's Woods. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Robert Woods, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills are an extra point away from taking the lead.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Second and 10, it's Palmer again. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing now, Palmer on first down, surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with not much. And never mind, Larry. These 2 teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's Here's Taylor, and that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 10th carry now for McCoy. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They got a man. It's Woods. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Here's Taylor to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Taylor. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
He may have had some off-season foot surgery, but that hasn't prevented Sammy Watkins from being Sammy Watkins, and that's special.
And when we see him before the game running the route tree, looked like the same Sammy Watkins to me that we saw a year ago.
Yeah, and I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. I love his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage as he starts his routes.
Now Taylor to throw. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and power.
And that's caught. Watkins. Touchdown, Buffalo. Sammy Watkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they hit the home run last on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right?
Back now in Buffalo. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. He's got Floyd out left. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And he's got Fitzgerald. 11 yards for number 11.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a gain of 20 that time. And it's good enough for an Arizona 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They go play action now. Palmer. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This for the lead in the final stages. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to LaShawn McCoy. And now it's 3rd down. To throw. They got a man. It's Woods. A good pickup there, a 22. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and make...
After review of the play...
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he gets it down to the 32. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
I know it was a gain, But you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Red zone opportunity. And they're going to speed things up here.
Let's go! Man 38! Man 38!
He'll look to throw. This is caught. Watkins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Watkins alone on the left side. He's back to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and it's 3rd and short.
Tyrann Mathieu knocks that one away, and when I'm evaluating guys in the game today, who has the best instincts, I'm not sure I put anyone ahead of him.
Really? You
Yeah.
put him up near the top?
I really do. The way that he plays, he almost doesn't have a position anymore. I don't care whether he's a safety, a corner, a nickel, a linebacker. He knows how to get around the football and make plays that affect the game.
So a pressure kick here for Dan Carpenter. This to tie things up in the final minute. And Carpenter knocks it through, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing now is Palmer. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for an Arizona first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. 3rd down now following the run.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, That was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And the Bills' offense comes out ready to take over. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order?
Scouting points are earned every week. Make sure you use all of your points. A portion of your remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. Scouting points are earned every week. Make sure you use all of your points. A portion of your remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.